Okay, right now I'm standing at the artillery positions in the middle of the line at Chad's Ford. Now I noticed that during my travels here, I've noticed large boulders or rocks. They dictate, maybe back in many years ago, the farmers placed these here because they knew that there was something historical here. There's one on top of Osborne's Ridge, and I noticed that there's a rock that's here also. Now what we see in front of us here is something that it's surprising it still exists, but it does. These fields were farmers' fields. This probably area the farmer knew was historic. He didn't plow this area. Now if you see just off to the camera to the right, you'll see a field up there. That's been plowed many times. That's where General Anthony Wayne's Pennsylvanians would have been stationed up there. They would have had their lines up there and they would have been here. This is where the Continental Artillery fired upon across the creek. They fired, there was a clear line. You can't see it today, I'll try to pan over so you can see the clear line. I just wanted to show you what the readouts look like today. There's actually impressions in the ground where the Continentals dug in. They dug in for this fight. They had a couple days to do it, and they did it. I'm gonna walk and I'm gonna stand in the holes where the redoubts were. As you can see, right here where I'm standing, probably about this far, probably around 8 feet across and about 10 feet long, is a redoubt. They had their cannons right where I'm standing. Now that's significant because that still exists. Very rare. You're talking hundreds of years. The farmer knew something that we didn't. He put a rock here. This rock was probably put here as to say, don't plow here. I don't want this destroyed, it's historical. Now we're gonna get a sight line over to my right of how these gunners aimed and how far they could shoot across the creek at the British that were on side of the other creek. Now the guns that were placed here, you had an artillery crew, you had loaders, you had a lot of guys working on these cannons. They would load the cannon by the muzzle. They put a sabot down it. They put a ball down it. They made sure the guns were clean after every shot. They were proficient. They had different uniforms. They weren't raggedy-taggly guys. These guys were well trained, these cannonades. And when they fired, these things went off. You heard them from a distance. You knew there was a battle going on. So let me go show you about I'm gonna put my camera in one of the redoubts and go off to the right and you can see the sight line.